controlling and mitigating of impact of this pandemic by identifying, testing, and give treatment for infected people, developing drug and vaccine and treatment protocol. WHO also concerned also about the pandemic mental health and the psychosocial consequence. Due to social isolation and quarantine have affected the usual activity, routine, livelihood of all people in the world, which increase level of loneliness, depression, and anxiety and insomnia. COVID-19 is not also a physical issue or physical mental health issue, but it is also a mental health issue and require from all of us special attention. Psychologists and mental health professionals reported that this pandemic is going to impact of all mental health of the population and increase the risk for depression, anxiety, and suicide, and also self-harm. So when controlling this disease, COVID-19, we also needed to proper and comprehensive management and attention to the mental health of all people. Next. Next. We all know about what is the meaning of COVID-19. COVID-19 is severe acute respiratory syndrome, is a new virus identified in Wuhan in China in late December 2019, and is translated from animal and spread. Next, please. Next. Next, doctor. Most people are being infected from other and the spread of this disease like cold flu, like colds and flu through droplets, which can created by when we talk, we cough, and when we sneeze. Next, please. I will give simple summary about what is the COVID-19 to give a time for the mental health and the COVID-19. As we see from this slide, the symptoms of COVID-19, the symptoms such as fever, cough, sore throat, shortness of breathing, fatigue, muscle ache, diarrhea, headache, and sudden loss of smell and taste. These symptoms, it is the symptoms of COVID-19. When the symptoms it is mild, the patient we give treatment to relieve the fever. When these symptoms it is more severe, we must need the isolation of this person and put it in hospital to give proper treatment. The symptoms started about 1 day after exposure.
Hello, Dr. Mona. Mute. Can you unmute? Yes, okay, thank you.
As we stated that the symptoms of COVID-19, okay, such as fever, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, and fatigue, and also headache, diarrhea, muscle ache. Symptoms start about 1 day after exposure of the person to the infection, and but can be as long as 14 days. Some people have no symptoms, most have a mild illness, and it can be severe and sometimes fatal. Second. Next.
Okay.
Next. Diagnosis and the treatment, because the symptoms are similar to any illness, tests and are needed to make the diagnosis through throat swab and blood test. When the mild symptoms can be treated with medicine to lower fever and relieve pain. But if the symptoms are more severe, we can treat this patient in hospital, and it is must be required the hospitalization. Next.
This one.
Next. The diagnosis and the treatment protocol for COVID-19 is, I think, is similar to any country in Egypt, like any country. Home isolation for about 14 days. This because the number of the cases increased in Egypt. The Egyptian authorities decide social home isolation, and for severe cases, the patient isolated in hospital. We can see from this slide that after assessment of the patient, we make isolation, we make chest X-ray, CBC and CT, chest X-ray to identify if this patient have infection or not. According to the severity of the symptoms, mild and severe, mild and moderate level, where took the treatment, and when the cases become severe, we make hospitalized and give proper treatment for these cases.
Okay.
Next, according to prevalence, please. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here, the slide.
In the previous slide, we give brief summary about COVID-19, the name, the method of transmission, treatment, and diagnosis. After that, we talk about the prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt. Previous slide, please. Previous. No. Second. Next. Next, doctor.
Wait.
Next, doctor. I will talk about prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt. Hello? Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yes. I will talk about prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt after this slide.
Okay, wait, sorry. Okay.
Kan kok apa mak boceng yo, mak
Sorry,
bodoh
Dr. Mona, wait
kahato
for
edina.
minute. Okay. Okay, wait. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay, Dr. Mona, can you continue because we have that technical problem for the PowerPoint?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, I will try to fix it. Yeah, sorry.
I will talk about the prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt. The number is more increased in the previous months. the number of cases from the beginning to 25 August, the total confirmed cases to 25 August about 97,478, while the total recovered cases about 66,871, while the total death cases about 5,280, while the fatality rate about 5.4%. Continue.
Okay.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yeah,
Continue.
we are hearing you.
Continue.
Yes, continue.
Continue.
Yes.
Okay.
I just try to show the PowerPoint. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Begin from the first or continue?
Oh, just continue. Yes.
Okay. The previous slide, please. The previous.
Okay. Can you see the slide now?
No,
Yeah.
I see from my computer because my phone is a little
Okay.
photo. The previous.
Previous. Yeah. Okay. Here. Not yet. Here.
As the prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt.
Okay. Wait.
No.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, here.
Okay, no problem.
Here.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I will. I'm sorry for this sound from my street. I will talk about prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt. Next.
Okay.
As the number of cases from the beginning to 25 August, the total confirmed cases about 97,478 cases, while the total recovered cases in Egypt from the beginning to of this COVID-19 about 66,087 and 80,070 and 870, while the total death case is about 5,020 and 2,080, while the recovered rate about 68.5%, concerning to the fatality rate about 5.4%, and concerning to the number of cases yesterday in 25 August, the total confirmed cases 138 new cases, while the total death rate cases about 18 cases. As we showed that the number of the cases is begin to decrease in Egypt. The next. Next.
Yeah.
In this slide, we talk about outbreak of the disease. Outbreak of the disease, this means the period of increase and spread of this COVID-19 to every country in Egypt from 3 March, while the period of the disease decrease from 8 May to 19 June, about 43,000 cases in the period of 40 days. Concerning to time when the disease decreased from 20 June to 6th August until now. After that, next please. Next. Okay. After that, the Egypt Health Ministry announced the first case in country at Cairo International Airport involving a Chinese national on 14 February. Egyptian authority notified the WHO about this situation, and the patient after that placed in quarantine isolation in hospital. Preventive measure were subsequently to monitor those who came into contact with this person, and precautionary measure will be taken to all people in my country, Egypt, to prevent spread of virus and limited outbreak of this virus. Next. Next. Okay. We give simple or brief summary about overview about COVID-19 as general, and then the prevalence of COVID-19 in Egypt. After that, we go to the big topic, mental health and COVID-19. Next. Okay.
Definition.
In the first, in the first, we will talk about what is the meaning of mental health. Mental health, it is include our emotional, physical, and psychological well-being. It affects how we think, how to feel, how to act. It is also help us to determine how to relate to others, how to make decision, how to handle to the stress. Mental health and good mental health is an asset and is also linked to good physical health. Both physical health and good mental health each other supported us for positive social and economical outcome for individual and society. COVID-19 and the response to this pandemic have impact of our mental health and affected affected the mental health of every person in my country, Egypt, and all nation and the world population. The next, we will talk about what is the benefits of mental health. Mental health helps us to reduction of anxiety, helps us to reduce the stress reported at the
Dr. Mona, unmute, please. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what is the problem.
Yeah, sometimes you mute yourself. Yes.
Okay. We talk in this slide about the benefits of good mental health. Good mental health is important for reduction of anxiety, for reduction of stress, decrease the risk for depression, improve relationship with us, and also helps us for proper thinking. After that, next. Next.
Yes. Okay.
Next.
Yes. It's still working. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I will continue to save
Yes.
the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
There is no problem if we show the slide. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I will talk about what is the causes of psychological stress during pandemic. The causes of psychological stress during pandemic, like fear of falling ill and dying, Also, avoid most person avoid health care due to fear of being isolated or infected in the care. Also, the causes fear of losing the work, fear of being socially isolated, fear also to place it in quarantined place, fear of powerlessness in protecting oneself and loved one, fear also of separated from loved one and the caregiver. Other causes of psychological stress, like lack of self-esteem to do anything in my daily life, loneliness and depression during being isolated. Next. Next.
Sorry, still process. Okay. Wait. Here? Oh, sorry.
I will talk next about what are the high risk group to the psychological stress. In the first, I wanted to know about what is the meaning of psychological stress. Psychological stress is stress caused by any disaster, impaired in mental health due to stress, due to anxiety, due to any event, any traumatic event present in our life, this cause psychological stress, like stress, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression. This is mean psychological stress. Who are a high-risk group for this psychological stress? The first, people who are higher risk for severe illness, such as older people or any people at any age with certain underlying medical condition. The second, the high risk group, we can say about children, people who caring for family member or loved one, healthcare worker such as nurse and the physician. This group is a higher risk for psychological stress during this crisis. We can also about people with substance abuse, people with mental health condition, people with developmental disabilities, people who are socially isolated, and also people experiencing homelessness. This high risk group for psychological stress, because these people unable to cope with the situation, such as this COVID-19 pandemic. Next.
Sorry, Dr.
Next.
Mona, 10 minutes left.
What?
Minutes left for you. 10 minutes left.
10 minutes? Okay.
10 minutes, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay. In this slide, we will talk about the type of psychological stress, such as three types: stress, anxiety, stress reaction, trauma and distress reaction, and mental health problem. Next. Next.
This one? Oh,
Okay.
next. Okay.
Stress, anxiety, and distress reaction. This is caused due to new disease, and what could happen during this pandemic. This causing strong emotion in adult and children. The stress and anxiety and the stress reaction is caused by social distancing and the public health action that any country put precautionary measure to controlling the spread of this disease, which is the people or any person feel isolated, loneliness, and increase the stress and anxiety. The consequence of the stress during this pandemic, the fear and worry about your own health and the health of your loved one, change in sleep and eating better, worsening of chronic health condition and worsening of mental health condition, and increase substance abuse. Next. what is the healthy ways to cope with stress? We can talk about like indoor play, relaxation, exercise, yoga, meditation, prayer, creative activities, positive thinking, reading. This coping strategies help us to cope with the stress. It is normal from everyone to feel of stress, but it is the most important management of this stress. Okay, next. Next, okay. The second, psychological stress, trauma and the distress reaction. Trauma can be included the stress caused by life-threatening circumstances that overwhelm our coping skills and increase this reaction like physical symptoms, emotional reaction, behavioral changes, and disturbance in thinking and sensation. Next, to save the time. Okay. The third psychological problem caused by the COVID-19 long-term mental health problem when the person unable to cope with the stress or anxiety and unable to using his coping strategies, this person liability to exposed to major depression or alcohol use disorder or post-traumatic stress disorders. Next. Next. Okay. In this part, I will talk about what is the recent researches about COVID-19 and mental health. More researches about COVID-19 and the importance of this mental health. Next. Okay. Okay. I will previous, please, previous, the previous slide. Previous.
This one, you mean?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In this part, I will talk about the important researches that published about the COVID-19 and its impact on the mental health. I will talk about the impact on kids. I will talk about the impact on mental health worker or health worker like a nurse or physician or doctor. On the patient infected with COVID-19. I will give a simple summary to save my time. In this slide, one study out of China published in JAMA Pediatric to measure the impact of COVID-19 on the mental health of the kids. The result revealed that about one-fifth of them reported depressive symptoms, and about one-fifth of the sample were experiencing anxiety. Next.
Okay, 5 minutes left. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 minutes? 5?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. In this slide, we'll show about the impact of COVID-19 on young people mental health. The result revealed that the majority of this sample agrees that coronavirus pandemic had made impact on the mental health, and about less than half said their mental health much worse, while the majority of this sample in this study agrees that they felt lonely or social isolated during lockdown period. Next. Also, this study on the college student reveals that the majority of the students said that crisis had a negative impact on their mental health. Next. Okay. In this slide or this study showed that the impact of mental health, the result reveals that nearly or less than half of the sample found to be prone to psychological problem and also post-traumatic stress disorder. Next. The impact of COVID-19 on medical and nursing staff, we all know about this impact. This sample, it is the front line to this pandemic, which it is caring for everyone. And we all know what is the psychological problem facing this group, which it is suffer from depression, anxiety, somatic symptoms, anxiety, and excessive worry. Okay, next. Next. Okay, I will talk about the prevention and the management of mental health. Okay, it is important for give guideline to all group in our community. The WHO put a guideline for preventing mental health during COVID-19. For general population, for mental, for health worker like a physician or nurse, for patient, for elderly people or older people, for career of children, all group in our community. The WHO issued guideline for preventing mental health. For general population, the guideline like be empathetic, stay at home when you feel sick, protect yourself and support to other, minimize watching the news or bad news in social media because it is make one much worry and have an anxiety. Honor healthcare workers who are supporting for affected people with COVID-19. Next. Okay, guideline for healthcare worker. We can say that the feeling under pressure, it is normal during the time of crisis. Managing mental health is important for this group, especially because this group is or the group caring for the infected people. This group must follow coping strategies to cope with stress during this pandemic. Also, when the person like nurse or physician experiencing avoiding by the family or community, stay connected with loved one. The health worker, the healthcare worker must be understand ways to share message to people with disabilities. Because the people with developmental disabilities are unable to follow the precautionary measure to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Next. Concerning to the guideline for the leader in healthcare facilities, keep all staff protected from poor mental health, ensure good communication between the staff group, ensure that all staff aware about how mental health support can be accessed, also orient all staff how to provide psychological first aid to the affected person. Also, emergency mental health conditions should be managed in healthcare facilities. The last one, ensure availability of psychiatric medication at all levels of healthcare. Next. This also guideline for children and also for people in isolation. We can summarize by provide a positive way to help the children to discuss or express their emotion and acquire a good or accurate knowledge about COVID-19 and avoid as much as possible separating children from their parents and also provide and maintain family routine as much as possible. This guideline for the career of the children. Concerning to for people in isolation, or people affected with COVID-19, the first one, stay connected and maintain a social network, pay attention to your own needs and feeling and engage in activities that help us to become more relaxing and avoid listening to rumors that make you uncomfortable.
Okay, time is up. Maybe
Okay.
one statement for the Muslim faith and COVID-19, Dr. Mona.
I will talk or not?
Yeah.
Continue or not?
Okay, 1 minute.
1 minute,
About
okay. I will
why-
summarize about
yes.
because this is important issue about COVID-19 because we all Muslim religion and we all know that the Islam communities limit the spread of new coronavirus in Sunnah by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and also in Quran. It is we all know the solution to eradicating contagious disease related to human behavior and adherence to prevent guideline. WHO confirmed that the people behavior in adherence to preventing measure was the main solution for blocking and eliminating the crisis, such as testing and isolation of infected individuals, social distancing, reinforcing of basic hand washing and respiratory hygiene, and also limited travel to and from isolated or affected area. It may not be apparent to many, but Islam has a tradition of following science. Yes, face communities limit and prevent the spread of coronavirus by personal hygiene, ablution, and cover the sneeze with a hand or clothing, and also infection control in Islam include the isolation and curtain. Concerning to the personal hygiene is a general behavior which it is include practice that promote mental, emotional, and physical health as well as social well-being of the individual. Islam rules of personal hygiene include washing of the hand, bathing, avoiding harmful food, brushing of teeth, clumping of nails, and washing the finger, all of which are related to personal and public health. Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam loves a person who stay clean and maintain his hygiene. This statement supported our talk about that Islam helps us to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in all country when follow this general behavior. The second, ablution. A Muslim start, we know that a Muslim start his or her day with ablution, which is excellent practice for limiting the spread of germs. This consisted with the first guideline recommended by WHO for all members of society to wash hand regularly and completely with soap and warm water. Okay, next. Okay. The third issue covers the sneeze with a hand or clothing. Many epidemiologists believe that sneezing and coughing are effective means of spreading COVID-19. Within the Islam and the Muslim, we practice this behavior. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated in hadith, anyone sneezing is encouraged to cover the sneeze with a hand or clothing. Concerning to infection control in Islam include isolation and curtain, isolation in home or isolation in hospital. The Prophet instructed his follower not to travel to places known to be infected with a disease and advise those in contaminated area or community not to leave and to prevent and avoid the spread of infection. The final special concern to Muslim in Umrah, Hajj, and pray. Religious leaders have changed practice and adjust service to aid effort to mitigate COVID-19.
Okay, Dr. Mona. I
Okay,
think
finished.
yeah, I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. I think
Okay,
I
thank you very much, Dr. Mona, for excellent presentation. And also the last topic, I mean, the last subtopic is very interesting, especially for me, or I think for all audience also, how the Islamic perspective to facing the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much, Dr. Mona, but I have to interrupt you, and then we will move to the second speaker. I think
Okay.
we can say more about your presentation and question after the session. Okay,
Okay.
and then I do apologize for some technical problem before, yeah, when we are speaking, and then the PowerPoint is not so yet, and also some the technical problem before. I would like to inform you also the participant. You can see the online seminar today in our YouTube, the Magister Keperawatan. So you can online from our YouTube. You can share also for the others who cannot join with Zoom application. Okay, we move to the second speaker. I would like to explain a little bit about the curriculum vitae for our second speaker. She finished her bachelor degree in Universitas Brawijaya, master degree in Universitas Pajajaran, and postdoctoral degree in Gajah Mada University. She is expertise in the emergency and critical care of nursing, and then she has a lot of publication and also professional training. One of the publication that I saw from her CV published in 2020, the effectiveness of the home-based care intervention for stroke survivors. And also she is the member of the HEPRC, Himpunan Perawat Critical Care Indonesia. And now also she is the lecturer of the Master of Nursing program and also Bachelor of Nursing Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. And she is also our secretary program of Master of Nursing Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Dr. Nur Chayati or Bu Caca, please welcome. Mute, Bu Caca. Still mute, yes. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sahru. May I show my PowerPoint by myself?
Okay, yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you to our moderator, Mr. Sahru, as one of our staff in our Master of Nursing program, and also thanks to the headmaster of Master of Nursing program for giving me a chance. And here, I would like to share with you and explain about what the university's role and also the responsibility in fighting the coronavirus 19. And we will explain also what the UMY, or Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, has done to combat with the COVID-19. And wait. Nowadays, we can say that the world will ever be the same again. As we know that we have a different situation because the consequence of the COVID-19 crisis. So it modify all situation and all our way of life in many ways. So we should ready for the changes, not only societal institution, are not only in a healthcare sectors, but also in our educational institution also. So universities must respond well and ready for keep moving to our new world phase. I think you also feel like those. It needs several time. Pak Sahru.
Yes, can I help you?
Yes, because not responding.
Okay, so do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe you can share for me. I don't know what happened in this.
Okay, I will try it, and then you can just explain what you are talking about. Yes, I will prepare. Yeah.
And as a university, we know that we have four functions of the university for facing this condition. The first, I will try to. Okay. For the first step, that the university should ensure that the teaching process still working. So the university may create an like a creative learning method, and also how to make sure that the students still learn and also got the knowledge. And the second function of the university during this crisis is next, Mr. Sarah. Yeah, this one. So the higher education must play a major role for post-COVID condition, and they should do reshaping their higher education itself, because we don't know until in what time this crisis will end. But we can and we should not be left unguided. We cannot stay without any rule or any program. Next. And what I have said before, that as a university, they have four purposes. The first one I have talked before, that the universities should preparing the student for active citizenship and also personal development. So even though they learn at home, we should make sure that they got the knowledge, and also they can learn by themselves, but we should with our supervisor. And also the second one is university should prepare for the sustainable employment. The institution should ensure that all the workers still work, all their staff still got the finance for themselves and also for their family. And thirdly, the university should create a broad advanced knowledge base. They make some innovation in the learning teaching process, and also give many methods for giving a lecture, and also transfer knowledge for their student and also for the community. And the last one, the university still or must stimulate research and innovation, even though we face this pandemic. And I think that because of this pandemic, this situation give us more information and also more ideas to stimulate us to take a research and do many innovation in many aspects. Next. And the institution can take role by first, they should renewing the commitment to core value of the academic freedom and also institutional autonomy. that we know that our higher education ministry introduced us to the concept of Universitas Merdeka, Merdeka Belajar. And in this process, we should engage with the students, faculty, and also all the staff in the university. And secondly, the university or institution should take a role by re-emphasizing the role of higher education institution as a social actor for the public good. We know that the output of the university is make a quality, a human or a quality student to be beneficial in their community. Next. And according to this COVID-19, we know, and I think we also follow the news in the social media, many news about the COVID, and we should pay attention that many of those news are unbelievable news, or we call it hawk news. So variety of the source will contribute to the spread of the panic to the community. So university as the scientific community is the best and most reliable source to give an information for the other people with a highly qualified personnel, so they can organize to make an hotline service to deal with doubt and also the concern for to other people outside the institution. Next. And this is a website from our government, Indonesian government, that as our one of source, a legal source or formal source for our community. So we are as an academic institution or an academic member, if we give an information or suggest the community to get an information, we can suggest them to open this website so they can get a valid information how to deal with the COVID. And next. And also, this is another website from our government. You can open www.covid19.go.id. In this website, our government give us an information day to day, how many cases that confirmed, how many people who resolved, and also how many people who died in day per day. So you can update your information through this website. Next. And what the higher education institution respond during this pandemic? There are several types of response that can be done by the institution. Firstly, by providing desperately needed healthcare and also research. And then secondly, they can helping to assure the safety of their students and also their staff. And thirdly, they should supporting a local business. So if you have or you know if any local business surrounding you or surrounding your institution, it also responsible for your institution to help us.
Next.
Yeah, next.
Okay.
And the fourth, institution could donating medical equipment as our public engagement. And 5, you can still continue to teaching your student. And the 6, you should engage with your community remotely For example, you make an active listening group to talk to the people who are isolated or lonely. And I saw from this previous presentation from Dr. Mona that one of way to relieve a stress for the patient, COVID patient, we should involve them to discuss with us. So this service you can take part in this session. Next. And this is what our university have done, that I talked before. One of the way we play or take a role for this pandemic, we can supply or we can give a donation to the other institution which need it. So we give an medical equipment like a 3M mask, because it's opposite side. And also we give a multivitamin and another tool to the hospital. Next. And also another rule is that we make sure our teaching learning should be continue. We also should ensure that we maximize non-face-to-face educational activities. Next. So our university try and have done this e-learning process by build official e-learning platform and with name My Class as UMY e-learning system. So through this platform, we do many various type of learning process. We can do a discussion, share material, and also take examination through this platform. Next. And the other media as our learning process, we using Microsoft Teams for teaching learning, but not also for teaching learning. We also use this Microsoft Teams as our way or our tool for discussion with academic staff to discuss many activities that's related to our working in the university. So these two platform or two online media, we use to minimize our closely faced with our student and with other people. Next. And the other response of the institution, we can repurpose our laboratorium better to understand the virus. This especially for medical scientists, but not only for medical scientists. You can see here that if you have an engineer program, you can also repurpose your laboratorium for designing and also producing facilities that supply a personal protective equipment for the common people and also for the healthcare staff, and also for the developing skill and dedicated doctors. We should make sure if you have some kind of this program, nurses, pharmacists, probably you have another program such as a medical record program. You can also should create a learning process that they still can enhance their skill and also their knowledge. Next. And this is our achievement in UMY, that we should repurpose our laboratorium. You can see that in Yogyakarta, there are 6 laboratoriums that is selected by our government as the laboratorium for detect or can test for the COVID-19, and UMY laboratorium as one of these laboratorium. So you can inform other people beside you if they need a place for take a COVID-19 test or swab test. You can refer to our laboratorium. Next. And also, this is the type or kind of our strategy that we should reshape our engineer laboratorium can produce and help equipment. So in a faculty of technique and a university, UMY, we produce also face shield, and we donate also them to another hospital, and also for all society, like staff in primary health care service who need those face shield. And this is conducted by our rector. Next. And as our workplace, our university also follow the Indonesia Ministry of Health policy about how to prevent and how to control coronavirus in the workplace setting. Next. So there are several policies that should be done by the institution or workplace institution. Firstly, they should having a COVID-19 task force, and then they should renew a COVID case report when they got new cases, and also they should inform to their worker that when there is a positive case in those places, they should not to become a stigma for the other, and this institution or those workplace should make a guidance and also rule for their staff to work from home. They also should have a rule for work shift, because according to this policy of this Ministry of Health, they suggest that when we can prevent or stop for night shift, it is better. And then those institutions or those sites should complete it with a protective equipment and also hygiene ways. And then the last, this institution also suggests that they could give a nutrition and also the vitamin for their staff, and always promote for healthy life promotion. Next. And this policy, the government policy, was adopted and implemented by our university we made or we organized for COVID-19 task force and also COVID-19 mitigation. You can see from our website that this is a UMY Siaga COVID-19. It is our platform to inform or give information for ourselves about COVID condition in our university, and also we serve with hotline service. So if other people outside from the university and also the university staff itself who need an information or they have a problem, not only a physical problem but also psychological problem, they could call the hotline service at COVID-19 UMY. Next. And this is also our way for promotion and to improve the awareness for any visitor who come to our campus. to obey the COVID protocol. So in front of our main gate of our campus, there is a big, like a big reclame or a big poster who remind us that when you come into this campus, you should wear a mask and you should ensure that no crowded or no crowding around you. And also this also state that if you are not wear a mask, you will get a punishment. Next.
Okay, sorry Bu Caca,
Yeah.
4 minutes left.
Oh, okay. And this is our policy from the academic of UMY Vice Rector about how we manage our lecturer or our teaching learning process. Next. You can see here, this is our planning when we will open our offline academic lecture with the COVID protocol. You see here that we will start the activities from 8 p.m. but it is like a sterilization of our classroom, and then continued with the lecture process. For one material, it could be done for maximum 1.5 hours, and after this, this classroom should be cleaning again, and after this, you can continue with a lecture, and then sterilize again, and then teaching again. So this process will continue in every day. If you see that in one day, start from 6 to 6 p.m. We do 7 until 8 time for sterilization and cleaning our class, and we have 6 until 7 teaching process offline in one day. Next. And also, this is our academic policy that the students that come from another province outside in Yogyakarta, they should stay at home or their resident for 14 days for self-isolation. And also, our university provide travel recommendation letters for the students who need this letter when they took an aeroplane or train on other transport, community transport to our university. And also for the offline student academic activity, they should be permitted, and their parents should sign a letter that they agree for their children to come back to Yogyakarta. And for the academic staff and also the students who are sick or having a chronic disease, degenerative disease, they are allowed to work or study from home. Next. And this is some our protocol in our campus that we follow what our government suggestion. We make sure that all promotion or this leaflet are placed in front of the door or in front of the gate, that you should wear a mask and hand washing and the other. Next.
Okay, time is up, Bu Caca.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait. Mungkin yang terakhir Pak Sahrul.
Okay,
You,
yes.
you can show me the last.
Oh, the last one. Okay. Not this?
No, next. The conclusion.
The conclusion. Okay.
Yes.
Before this
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, previous, yeah. You can see here that the university which actively engage with the life and the problem of its community and society, this university will become the model of higher education in the post-COVID-19 world. So it should support us to give the best service for our community and for our staff itself. That's enough. Thank you, Mr. Sahrul. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You are very welcome, Bu Caca.
Thank
for
you.
the amazing presentation also about the university responsibility deal with COVID-19. Okay, to all of the participants, we are finished for the presentation session. So now we will move to the Q&A session. Okay, so for all of the participants that you want to directly ask to the first speaker or the second speaker, you can directly raise your hand and then out your question. While I will see from the chat, I think few minutes ago I find some of you ask the question. But the priority, I will let you. Anyone want to directly ask the question to our speaker today? The first speaker, Dr. Mona from Benha University, Egypt, and the second speaker, Dr. Chacha from UMY. Okay, let me see from the chat. Yeah. Okay, while waiting for you, if you want to directly ask the question, I think I find one of the question from the audience. But if I didn't see, just tell me which one is your question. Okay, I will from the first question from Aulia, Stikas Banten. Yeah, for Dr. Mona. Dr. Mona, are you here with us? Hello? Yeah, okay. Dr. Mona, so there is a question. The first question from Aulia, Stikas Banten. Dr. Mona, in your opinion, is it necessary during the COVID-19 pandemic that social media detox is needed, such as reducing the time to use social media and other healthy time rules for using social media so that addiction does not occur during the pandemic? Because many think social media can be used as entertainment advice during a pandemic like this to keep achieving mental health. So this question, is it clear for you, Dr. Mona? Dr. Mona, are you still with us? Okay. Hello, Dr. Mona. Hello, Dr. Mona. Hello, Dr. Mona. Okay, maybe she has a problem for the signal and internet. I will see, is there any question for our second speaker? Okay, from Julia. Okay, wait. I also offer for the participant that anyone want to ask for the speaker directly. Yes, please. Just raise your hand while waiting for the Dr. Mona. I'm not sure she is here with us or not. Hello, Dr. Mona. Dr. Mona.
Yeah. Hello?
Okay, yeah. We can hear you. Can
Okay.
you hear me? Hello?
My microphone is on mute. You
Oh,
closed.
okay.
You close
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so okay, did you hear the question?
Again. Ask,
Okay,
please.
okay, so there is a question from Aulia. Yes, wait, I will read it. It's about is it
Send it in my WhatsApp. Okay. Send it to my WhatsApp.
to your chat, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, okay, wait. So, okay, looking for where is the question. Actually, she asked about is it needed the social media detox, such as we need to reduce for using the social media during this pandemic situation. Do you get a point for the question, Dr. Mona?
The role of the social media for preventing or what? I don't.
I mean, is it needed to reducing the social media use in this pandemic area, in this pandemic condition?
Yes, we all see that this social media, such as WhatsApp or all news by social media, supported us to acquire more knowledge about what is the coronavirus spread, what is the most preventive measure we must acquire this or follow it to prevent the spread and protect ourselves. But on the other side, there is more bad news about the effect of social media, which this bad news affected the mental health and increase the stress and anxiety when we know that more deaths about COVID-19, the death of nurses, more deaths from all hospital, this of person in the street, like in other country. Social media, it is a tool to improve mental health and acquire knowledge about COVID-19, and also had a negative effect to acquire or hearing bad news about the COVID-19 when we know about the death of a lot of number of infected people in our community. Social media, it is a good tool and have two sides, negative and positive effect. Thank you.
Okay. So
we
okay,
must not follow to the bad news, because this bad news increase the stress and anxiety and change the mental health of ourselves.
Okay, so it depends of the point of view, because the social media has, you said that good effect and also bad effect, yeah, because the
Yes.
social media is the tools that we can get more knowledge, but the other thing we can get a better effects.
Hearing only for the bad news and acquired knowledge and support to our us in the isolation period, and using coping strategies for this stress during this pandemic.
Yeah, so it depends to the bad side and the good side. How about the time? I mean, the duration to using of the social media. We need
The
to
time.
manage it or not? An hour, 2 hours?
24 hours.
24 hours.
In
Okay.
Egypt, 24 hours we contact to our phone. I think we must little the time for using the social media like Facebook or other, because there is a physical problem from this using this media, not about COVID-19, but we know that the social media and Facebook or WhatsApp or other have a negative impact to our mental health. and also physical impact.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So the highlight of the Dr. Mona is not about the time or the duration to using the social media, but focus on how we can manage the bad effect or the good effect about from the social media. Because in this condition, yeah, we use more social media than before. Yes. Okay. So thank you for the Dr. Mona. If the answer is not answer your question, just please your comment in our chat. The second question, Dr. Mona, I'm not sure is for you or not for Dr. Chacha. Okay. From Yulia Surya Dewi, Institute of Health Science. I have a question. How if I have patient who has traumatic of medicine consumption, and then I should give that medicine to decreasing COVID-19 virus? What should I do to the patient? Thank you. So it's about the traumatic of medicine consumption, but the patient should take a medicine. About this question, is it clear for you, Dr. Mona?
This question for me?
I'm not sure, but I will ask you first, and then we will see the Dr. Chacha comment, because he didn't mention about for the first or the second. Yeah, just keep your comments. Yeah.
Okay, please send it in my WhatsApp. Okay, to say.
Okay. Sorry, I think it will take time. I mean, okay. So you hear me? So I think she asked about if she have a patient with traumatic of medicine consumption. So the patient is secure, yeah, or afraid to take a medicine, but the patient, but the nurse should give the medicine to the patient. So what should I do the patient to the patient? Did you get the point?
What I can do when the patient not took the medication?
Yeah, because the patient is afraid, traumatic.
Because the patient is what?
Trauma.
Trauma.
Or afraid, yes.
Trauma. Trauma because from COVID-19?
No, the medicine. The medicine. So there is the patient trauma with the medicine, but we as a nurse should give the patient the COVID-19 medicine, something like that, to decrease the COVID-19 virus, something like that.
She asked what I can to do for patient refuse to take the medication due to trauma.
Yeah. Because the
what is the meaning of trauma? Trauma physical or trauma psych?
I'm not sure about this. She just write that traumatic of medicine. Just say maybe afraid of the medicine. So
I think she asked about when the patient have traumatic or have a feeling of trauma due to COVID-19. What is the role of this of the nurse for this patient? I think the reassurance it is the first line for caring this patient to help them adherence to medication. The first rule reassurance and provide safety and security for this patient and provide and help this patient to about expressing his feeling and support and reassurance him. Also, the nurse must be behind with this patient at this moment. After that, the nurse and the patient build the trust between this patient. I think this patient will take this medication. I think when everyone love the one or any person with COVID-19, I think he is or he or she suffering from trauma. Suffering from a lack of concentration, nightmares, the trauma, it is caused by a life-threatening event like COVID-19. I think the support of this patient and the build trust between the nurse and the patient, it is a big rule for help this patient to take the medication. I would like to this accurate answer for this question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mona. I think the answer is answer the question. It's about how to make the patient is trust to us, and then make sure about the security and safety that you said before. Okay, thank you. Dr. Chacha, do you have any comment for this question? While we wait.
I think it's clear from Dr. Mona, but I will make sure that what the condition of this patient. If you have a patient with an unconscious condition, I think it is not need to get the permission from this patient.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Chacha. So, anyone want to ask directly to the speakers in this afternoon? Yeah, I think from chat we got only 2 questions from the participant. Okay. Okay. So, everyone, do you have any question for our speakers? Okay, while waiting for the other question, because we still have time, about 10 minutes to Q&A session. Okay. Okay, maybe I will. Okay, I would like to ask to Dr. Mona, because I said before I am interested with the Islamic perspective to facing the COVID-19. But because limited of time, you just share for some of slide, yeah. So could you explain more? Is it the tradition from the society? As we know, yeah, Egypt is, most of the society in Egypt is Islam, Muslim,
Yes.
I mean. So is it just because of the Muslim tradition, or is it also how to say that, teaching by the lecture to the students or the society to do this kind of the Islamic Islamic tradition or view to the society? So you should explain to the society, or the everyone already know about it in Egypt. As we know, most of society is Muslim.
Please say the accurate question.
Yeah.
Brief question.
Okay. I mean, is it only the tradition of the, because most of them are Muslim, or it's like the policy of from the government or the university that this kind of the prevention should be done by the society? Is it a tradition, or is it tradition only, or the policy now?
No, the two. Tradition and also the society policy. In the beginning of the spread of COVID-19 in Egypt, the Egyptian authority put guidelines and precautionary measure for controlling and the spread of COVID-19. Concerning to my faculty, we all the student and the staff took a holiday about more months but the university took a step about how the student acquire and study. We use e-learning and discussing the content of the course online for all students. My faculty about 5 years, the first and the fourth, from the first to fifth, this is a study, while the fifth it is practical. We study and discuss our content online for the fourth years, and ask from every student to make research in the in the content of his courses. And all student in our home and the staff can discuss his content or lecture by e-learning. Okay. And in the same side, I think the tradition and all the community, the society or the community is not the first line for protecting and prevent the spread of COVID-19. I think the Islamic is a big rule, for preventing it. Both traditional and the society to rule the community or everyone responsible for protecting himself and protect the other, and also must the Islam learning us for this behavior, that the health of the other, it is responsibility for the us also. We must follow the precautionary measure, and also okay, you understand me or not?
Your point. While you explain more about the regulation in your university, yeah, I mean for the students, and then you have online learning also, and then the program to protecting the individual and also for the society. Okay, Dr. Mona, because I find one question for you.
Okay.
Yes, what is the development stage of the COVID-19 vaccine in Egypt with the current number of positive COVID-19 patients?
What is of?
Development stage of the COVID-19 vaccination in Egypt. As we know, all of the countries try to find a vaccine for COVID-19. Could you explain a bit about the development stage of COVID-19 vaccine the researcher or the government did?
In Egypt, the first line, isolation of the person or infected person in his home or hospital. Okay, because the number of the infected cases, it is increased, the Ministry of Health in Egypt issued guidelines for about this infected people isolated in the home, and also to take the medication or protocol of coronavirus treatment. Okay. Treatment of severe cases in hospital, and also mild and severe cases in their home. Protocol of coronavirus treatment in Egypt begin with interferon and also hydroxychloroquine. This medication, it is the first line for treatment of coronavirus, interferon and hydroxychloroquine, and also introducing immunity boosting drug and vitamin C and zinc and antibiotic. This is a protocol of coronavirus treatment in Egypt. After that, the Health Ministry scientific comment had affirmed that hydroxychloroquine showed good result with coronavirus in patient or infected patient, and shows no and that and begin to manufactured this drug in Egypt and have been available in the Egyptian market in July 2020. After that, Ministry of Health began to use plasma therapy. Egypt therapy trail for injected coronavirus patient with plasma taken from recovered cases, as this plasma contain antibiotics effective in battling the virus. It showing promising initial result via good recovery rate for patient and reducing need for ventilator when increasing rate of recovery and hospital discharge. The Ministry of Health in Egypt began to make research development in cooperation with numerous international research agencies about how to treat these cases. Another treatment we know, home treatment. As we says previous, home treatment for most cases we showed in Egypt that the first treatment is a home treatment in Egypt because increased cases in the previous months. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the complete explanation. Yeah, so you explained for the first treatment, first line, and also I heard that it still use also hydroquinone. Yes, and then available in pharmacies, soap. Yeah, in Egypt.
I think the protocol of treatment in Egypt or any country is changed every time because the research had have a rule for what is the best for the patient, what is the best medication for treated this patient to prevent the side effect of the patient, to introduce the best medication for treating with limited side effect.
Okay, so the rule and then the treatment, it's like an international policy, yeah, for all of the countries. And then how about the vaccine or not for the researcher in Egypt, especially? Because we know
no, I think there is no treatment for
specifically for the antibiotic or antivirus, right?
Antibiotic, we must give the patient antibiotic because the infection of COVID-19 by virus, but the virus causing inflammation and side effect for the patient, so the doctor recommended to write antibiotic.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mona, for the explanation. And then I think we are in the end of our session or our agenda today, because it's already 1 minute to 3 p.m. now in Indonesia, Dr. Mona. So I think it's the end. So thank you very much for Dr. Mona for the explanation and then answer the question, and Dr. Chacha also for the presentation and answering the question. Thank you very much for two speakers in this afternoon. Could we give big applause for both of them?
Okay. Thank you very much for this invitation. Thank you for you as a moderator. Thank you for Dr. Vitri for this invitation and the whole of UMY friends. I am very happy to be among with my friends. Thank you very much for this invitation. Thank you a lot. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for Dr. Noor.
Yeah,
Thank you for the second
yeah.
speaker, Dr.
Yeah,
Naim.
Welcome.
Thank you
yeah,
very much. Shukran.
yeah, it's
Nice
pleasure
to
for
meet
us.
you, Dr.
Yeah.
Mona.
I am very happy to speak with you, and I hope from Allah to give the best knowledge about this topic.
Yeah.
And thank you to permit myself to speak in this time. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Dr. Mona. Hope we see you in the next agenda or invite you also for our next or in the next or in the future online seminar.
Inshallah.
Okay,
Inshallah.
okay. For to all of the participants, before we close our seminar today, I would like to inform you. I think most of you ask in the chat where is the registration. So I would like to show you how to re-register for getting the certificate. Wait for a minute. I will share to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So for all of the participants, can you see the PowerPoint already?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So just find out the link here. Please kindly fill out the evaluation form for our international seminar today, and then to get the participant certificate. Yeah. Okay, within 3 minutes.
How long, Mr. Sahru?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Pardon?
How long you will open this?
30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
You can read.
30.
Mr.
Sorry.
Sahru, can you write the link in the chat, please?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wait for a minute. Okay, I'll try to.
The time of Asr or
Okay, so you can get the link in the chat. Okay, so for all the participants, you can access the form to get the certificate. Okay, we need to close our online seminar first, and then if you want to continue your registration, you can continue after we close the seminar. Okay, to all the participants, this is the end of our online seminar today. Just kindly remind you, also the online seminar on Saturday at the same time 1 p.m. and then we have the speaker from Konkan University Thailand and also from the Master of Nursing UMY. Thank you very much for all of you participants and then also for the question, and I do apologize for any mistakes. And then after I close this forum, maybe we can have a photo session first. You can turn on your camera, yeah, after we close our seminar today. Okay, let's we close our online seminar today with saying hamdalah and doa kafaratul majlis. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Once more, thank you for all of you all. I do apologize for any mistake. Keep happy and stay strong for COVID-19. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Sanai.
Yes.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, Dr. Mona, are you still
Assalamualaikum
there?
warahmatullahi
Maybe we
wabarakatuh.
can take a
Bye, my
picture.
friend.
Yes, I see you and hear you.
Oh yeah. Maybe we can have a photo session first.
Goodbye. Goodbye and thank you for
Okay.
us.
We take a picture first. Dr. Mona, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Goodbye.
I
Goodbye.
will. Yeah, taking picture first. Okay, I will count 1, 2, 3, and then everyone you can turn on your camera. Are you
We
ready?
finished or
Okay.
Not
I
yet.
don't hear you.
Picture, Mona.
Okay.
I don't hear you.
You don't
We
have.
finished
Okay,
or not?
not yet. Okay, I count 3 to 1. Okay, everybody.
What?
Get ready. Okay. Wait. Okay.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Thank you.
1,
Thank you to
2,
see
3.
you. Sri. Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's enough. Thank you very much for all participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sahru.
Yes.
Terima kasih, Pak Sahru.
Terima kasih, Bu
Ya,
Fitri.
sama-sama.
Ya, join again
Selamat sih.
Sampai lagi, Wi.
international seminar with Konkan University. Okay.
I wanted to say sama-sama.
Ah, ya.
Sama-sama, Mona.
Terima kasih, Bu Caca.
Iya,
Goodbye.
sama-sama, Kak Saru.
I will miss you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nah, tutup ya,
Goodbye.
Pak.
Welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Fi amanillah.
Warahmatullahi
Ya, Manila.
Goodbye.
Bawa dia mau dipotong tuh tali ikat di pintu dapur kan.
Apa nih? Gini dah. Warna sampang. Halo. Suruh mulai boleh ya? Ya. Ya. Nur Salim. Bapak Muhammad Abdullah, Ibu Lina, Ibu Lina, ya. Ada keluhan apa orang Bu? Di sini ada. Kayaknya pegel ya, ada pusing, ada mual enggak? Iya, mau gitu. Enggak. Hanya minta. Ini sih betul-betul. Tesnya tinggi ya kemarin. Ini diminum terus. dosen pegangin lagi emang habis obatnya tadi bisa diminum obat tadi ini banget Dari tunggu dulu ya. Ya. Bapak Ardi.
Arifatul Hasanah.
Bapak Ardi ya. Ini pertama kali di sini Pak. Ruang apa sekarang?
Banyak.
Satu.
Ini para
Pakai aja. Banyak? Oh, nah, di rumah. Terus ada keluhan lain nggak? Apa sih?